Hello, 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 and welcome to 20 Years with a Narcissist. I'm your host, Shakira, and I would like to start with words of affirmations. You are whole, you are complete, you are enough. You are strong, you are brave, you are resilient. You are guided, you are protected, and you are safe. And this here is a safe space. On this week's episode, I would like to go back to the narcissist cycle. What is the narcissist cycle, you ask? I'm just going to speed this up a bit. I would like to start with the narcissist cycle. The narcissist cycle includes love bombing, trust and dependency, devalue and degrading, loss of self, addiction, then discard. Let's start with love bombing. First off, what is a bomb? Or should I say, what does a bomb do? Right? So I asked Siri to define the word bomb, and she gave me several definitions. Of course, there's the container of materials, gas, or smoke that explodes upon impact, etc. But then there was also a lump of lava thrown by a volcano. Did y'all know that? Yeah, I didn't. And then one that most of us know is an outstandingly good person or thing, aka, oh, you the bomb, girlfriend, or that movie was the bomb. That was the definitions. But in the case of love bombing, though, it is indeed an explosion. It is an explosion of compliments, affection, gifts, etc. In order to mentally, emotionally, and physically, especially if sex is involved, make the person enamored, which means, enamored means to be filled with the feeling of love for. They want you to be enamored with them. Once they love bomb you, what happens in the body internally? Hormones are released. Hormones such as serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. The body gets amazing sensations like a drug. And of course, it continues to want more and more. Once the narcissist knows that you are now looking forward to those hormones being released by the things that they are saying and doing, they sink their teeth in and hold you hostage. Now, at some point, the showering of love starts to fade and they leave you yearning for those amazing feelings you once felt. Just when you start to look at them sideways, like, what happened to the person that was, giving me all this good stuff, making me feel all amazing and stuff? The second you start to look at them different, they give you a dose, an attempt to show you, I'm still that person. No, that person that love bombed you is still here, but they already got you. So they're not going to work as hard. They just not. I already got you. What I got to do all that for? So they're not going to work that hard to woo you. But so they only give you just enough to take the edge off. Remember, it's like a drug, right? So when you start jonesing and fiending and all that, they like, oh dang, all right, she's jonesing. She really going through it. Let me give her something. They give you breadcrumbs of affection. And what feels like love, most of us don't really know what love is. So when someone comes along and makes us feel so good in such a way we've either never felt before or we seldomly feel, we often mistake it as love. Especially if the person is backing their actions up with saying that they love you. Let me read you the Bible's definition of love because to me, this is the most accurate description of what love truly is, y'all. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, and always hopes. always perseveres. This is 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 7. A narcissist is the epitome of all the things listed that it says love does not. Love does not this, love does not that. And a narc literally does all of they're easily angered. They lie. They literally seem like demons. So do yourself a favor when dating. Who is saying dating someone that's saying they love you after only a few weeks or months and is constantly showering you with compliments and intense charm? Ask yourself, are they a reflection of this definition or depiction of love? You may live up to what love is. So you tell yourself, of course, he loves me. I mean, because you know that you are a kind, loving, genuine, sincere person. You know you deserve love. So you like, well, why wouldn't he love me? If he's saying he love me, he ain't lying, because I'm lovable. You know, I know I deserve that love. Please take heed to the time frame they are starting to say those very weighted words, because love is not to be taken lightly. Take heed to the context in which those words are being said. Did they say it after they bought you a gift or lighten some part of your load, the load that we all carry on a daily basis, like paying a bill for you so the service that bill provided or needed, did not get shut off, or you needed a lump sum of money or something, very important, and they provided the need for you. Oh, babe, I got what you need. Oh, you need money for groceries? Y'all ain't got, huh? Take that. Oh, dang, you need your nails, your hair, and everything done? I got you. Here, how much you need? And they just giving it. Y'all just met a few weeks ago. That person don't owe you nothing. Why they doing all that? You might just have gotten loved on. And it's a shame that we have to be cautious when allowing someone to do something we deem is nice or beneficial for us. But if we don't, we could become victims or targets of narcissism. There is a huge difference between love bombing and being courted. Because when somebody courts you, they are going to compliment you. They are going to make you feel good. But when someone has genuine interest in you, they will take their time with you. They won't move fast like a love bomber does, as if they're running a race that they have to win. I gotta win, I gotta win, I gotta get her now. I gotta get her now. I can't give you time to think or anything. I gotta literally bomb you with it. Somebody courting you will respect your boundaries. If you say no kissing on the first date or 3, or absolutely no sex unless you put a ring on it, you know what I'm saying? Or, in my case, the next person I have sex with is going to be the person that I spend the rest of my life with. And when I said this to the third narc that I dated, he pushed past that boundary like it was a featherweight. You hear me? Excuse me. And to me, that was, my king, and not being as strong as I was at that time, me not buckling down and just waiting for my king, and somebody's telling you, oh, I am your king. But for the second time, you discard me. So it's funny that same, person's circumstances have changed. And now he's barking back up my tree. So now is the time for me to practice what I'm preaching to y'all on this podcast. I got to stand 10 toes on the boundaries that I've set and patiently wait for my king to come and sweep me off my feet. I don't care if it sounds like a fairy tale. I believe in those. And there is indeed a man out there, okay, for me, who's going to love me unconditionally. And I'll be able to say, he's done nothing but love me. He has never hurt me or discarded me the way the man in the past and the men in my past have done. There's no way I'm going back to someone who has shown me who they are, which is someone who will willingly break things off with me because of their own negative feelings and emotions. No, it's not right. It's not fair. It isn't okay. And people only do to you what you allow them to. And I refuse to allow that to happen to me ever again. Enough is enough, y'all. I am so tired of repeating the same bullshit over and over again, expecting a different result, which is literally the definition of insanity. I ain't doing it no more. I don't know about y'all. Well, I'm trying to put y'all on game so that y'all can hop in the same boat. You know, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Dating the same person in a different body. You can't keep doing it. I've witnessed people lose their minds doing this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, because you showed me the first time and I still went back like a not so smart person, because I ain't gonna call myself dumb. That love bombing is something vicious, baby. But I'm damn sure not about to give you a third. Sorry, not serving. Sorry. I need and want all of you to adopt this same attitude. But back to being courted. A genuine person who isn't dating you for their own personal gain not only will be patient with you and respect how it is you need or want to live your life, if they don't, whether they are narcissists or not, they simply are not the one for you. I've heard licensed psychologists say, give yourself a year, not only, to pour into yourself, heal, grow, prosper, but also to take the necessary time to fully get to know someone before committing to them and or having sex with them. Because I know some of you out there have dated someone and, most of the time they just really want to get in your drawers. And the second you give it up, they switch up on you. You're like, hold up, what happened? Everybody is not worthy of having the gift God has blessed you with between your legs. And yes, I'm talking to men and women alike. Because, baby, you can best believe it is indeed a gift. Be careful out here when dating and protect your heart and your peace no matter what kind of sweet nothings they are whispering in your ear. You are worthy of love and respect. So when they start the next phase in the narcissist cycle, which is trust and dependency, which is when they make it where you can rely on them to take care of some part of your life that is significant and or important, such as telling you to quit your job and they'll pay your bills. So you can stay home and wait on them hand and foot, or take care of your, or y'all kids while they run the streets, or do whatever it is they want to do. But they got you where they want you at, which is home, at their beck and call. They know where you are. They ain't got to worry about somebody trying to hit on you because you at work, and because that degree of control is there as well, right? So now you've gotten accustomed to them doing whatever it is you are depending upon them to do. Now you don't want to lose them, and you don't want to not get the benefit or the need or want that they're satisfying, because they're not there no more. Hold up, you leaving me? So who going to pay these bills? Who going to pick up the kids? When I'm at, like, or if they do, not mind you working, whatever need they provide for you, you start to look for it. You need it. You want it. So much so that you don't even know, how to survive without them. Once they get you to that point, here comes the next phase of the narcissist cycle: devaluing and degrading. I'll give you examples of this phase from my own experience with my 20-year narc. After I gave birth to my fifth child, I gained a lot of weight, y'all. I got up to about a smooth 210. That's the most I remember. So much that I would get long-winded going up a flight of steps or start nodding off at the wheel of my vehicle while driving. Even when I just woke up. Like I literally just slept for like 8 to 10 hours, and why am I so tired? So I decided it was time to shed that weight. Apparently, my narc wasn't pleased with me he was actually pleased with me being overweight. So when I started the fitness journey, he was downright disgusted. I started my workouts at home, so when I would be working out, he walked by with his face turned up, looking down at me. So what you working on now? Because he didn't want me to lose my assets, which were my breasts and my booty, which made me intentionally not work on my upper body because I heard people who work out real hard with their upper body, the breast reduces, because the breast ain't nothing but fatty tissue. You know, I didn't work on it at all. My upper body was weak. My back was weak. So when I was trying to lift heavy, I was pulling muscles in it. And I avoided or lackadaisically performed glute exercises. Little did either of us know. Not doing this caused me to lose the weight, and I was left with very little booty because I did not gain muscle to shape and build it up. So once the fat was gone, so was the booty and the boobs. I breastfed, so my kids sucked me dry, and the boobs went too. Because I had watermelon mangoes, whatever fruit you can name that you sit in, y'all, they were huge. Okay? So once, and unfortunately, me losing this weight became the demise of our marriage. So once, I lost the weight, he would drop me off places. I'd get out the car, and as I'm walking away from the vehicle, I'd hear him sucking his teeth. Just shaking his head back and forth like ill. I think he actually said ill once. Ill. Like, that's a damn shame you did that to your body, because now he ain't want me no more. But y'all know there's levels to this shit in my Meek Mill voice. On a lower level of this kind of devaluing, degradation, when I was Muslim, or I am still Muslim, I fully claim Islam as my religion. But when I was garbed and, on my deen, as they'll say, I was still 200 pounds, and I would wear overgarments that showed my shape. They would be like A-lines, and I was just getting familiar. He would degrade me by calling me a harami mommy. Haram in Arabic means a sin, one that could lead you to the hellfire. Whoever made it up, the harami mommy phrase, threw the Y at the end of the word haram so it could rhyme with mommy to imply women were being haram or sinful by wearing anything that showed their shape. He would then back it up with that the hellfire is filled with more women than men, which implied we are more sinful. This used to make me feel so bad. My self-esteem was in the toilet. The things he said meant so much to me. So when he talked to me like that, it resonated in such a negative way. My rebuttal, because I'm always going to give rebuttal. I don't give a damn, right? That's just, listen, I gave rebuttal as a teenager to my mom when she was trying to tell me what to do and what not to do. But mom, shut up. And when I didn't, I got busted my lip. You know what I mean? So with him, you thought I wasn't? But my rebuttal would be, well, I'm new to the religion. Why wouldn't you help me pick out or buy, husband? Won't you buy me some overgarments that don't show my shape or as much, instead of talking shit about me? And he just walk away like, FOH, you figure it out. Just know I don't like it. You know what I mean? So we have to be mindful of these kind of negative words, because then it becomes negative self-talk. Because you've allowed yourself to believe what they are saying is true, now you're devaluing and degrading yourself. Which is why in this next phase, which is losing yourself, even occurs. So here you are. So, you've been love bombed. This person made you believe you can trust and depend on them, which ends up becoming a form of control. Sidebar. Once I got to a plateau of doing my workouts at home, I was ready to go to the gym. I was like, okay, it's time to, up the ante here, right? And my narc had to approve an outfit for me to go and work out in, which was a 2X shirt, y'all. It was a shirt, I don't know if I got it on like a trip or something, but it was one of them big ones you can sleep in. You just throw it on like a little nightie or whatever the case. So the thing came to my knees. And the pants that I had, they did fit at the top. I was thicker than a Snickers, so it was not really showing my shape, but they flared out at the bottom. So the big shirt covered all the way to my knees, and then at the bottom, it like flared out. Anything to prevent showing my shape as much as possible. And I also couldn't give men the salams. Assalamu alaikum, brother. I had to learn that the hard way, because after I had done so with a man in the neighborhood, he asked me if I knew him. I said no. So he said, well, why you salam him? I said, isn't that what we're supposed to do to brothers and sisters of the faith? Especially when they salam you first, because he salammed me first. He said assalamu alaikum to me. I just returned it and said, wa alaikum salam. We're supposed to return the greeting in equal or greater value. He said, well, I don't want you doing that. I said, oh, wow. Okay, then. And that was that. Once they start to make you feel like you are worthless, unworthy, and lesser than, you start to internalize that. They're only giving you breadcrumbs of affection, sex included. You practically have to beg for it. In my case, a simple hug and kiss was like pulling teeth out of his mouth. He surely could not stand PDA, public displays of affection. We would kiss, and I was pulling teeth out of his mouth just to kiss him in the house. You know what I'm saying? Let alone he dropped me off at work or we outside, on a date or whatever the case. Hey, man, have a kiss? No. Yeah, this form of abuse, because this is exactly what it is, abuse, goes on until you either become a shell of a person with no thoughts of your own, or only that person telling you who you are and you believe in it. You become sad, depressed, withdrawn, slowly dependent on that person to tell you what to do and how to do it, just so you can keep the peace. Well, babe, what you want me to do? How you want it done? No, I'm going to just do it like that, and I'm not going to care about myself. Or you make the extremely hard decision to get the hell out of there. That's what I want y'all to do. Run for the hills. Because it ain't worth it. That part of you that knows the way you are being treated is not right starts screaming at you, telling you, let it go. Let it go. In my frozen voice, okay? And move on, because this is not love. This is not love. So with the right support system, because you need a support system to escape a narc, you do exactly that. Depending on how long you were with them and the level of abuse and trauma bonding that occurred during this relationship, whether you stay and endure or run for the hills will determine if you are addicted to this cycle. Because unfortunately, this is the next cycle in this phase, is addiction. You literally become addicted to the treatment and the behavior. What is an addiction? For the purpose of this episode, we'll use the second definition in the Merriam Dictionary, which is a strong inclination to do, use, or indulge in something repeatedly. So those strong enough to leave may still end up getting hoovered back in, because no matter how bad the treatment was from the narc, the familiarity and the hormone rush they give you when they are reeling you back in convinces you that they really do love you, and maybe they've changed or made promises to do so, and you believe them. So you end up right back in their web. I can't tell y'all how many times I've done this through this cycle with my 20-year narc. And of course, he wanted me back every time I picked my weight back up. I had 5 kids. So every time I had a child, I would gain the weight, get thick, get the watermelon, boobs, because I'm breastfeeding. So they keep filling up with milk. And then once I was finished breastfeeding, I push him out, finish breastfeeding, and then I drop all the weight. And he's disgusted again, goes and cheats. And then when I pick it back up, here he come. And some way, somehow, he get me right back where he wanted me until he wanted to put me back on the shelf for one reason or the other. Then finally, the discard. When they finally decide they no longer need or want you, so they get rid of you for good. In my case, it took for me to sleep with somebody else. And he not only found out, but he saw a video of the act, which made him sick to his stomach because, of course, people can't handle what they dish out. You did that to me for 20 years. And for the first time, so the disrespect was at an all-time high. Final straw for me to get him all the way out of my space for good was once he put not even his hands, but used a stick to hit me upside my head in order to take back an expensive pocketbook he bought me. Because at this point, he deemed me unworthy of having anything that he paid for, including the vehicle that he got me for my wedding gift. What is it called, y'all? Dowry. My dowry. It's called a dowry. It is a gift that the husband is to provide the wife in Islam. When we get married, we actually write it down on the marriage certificate and everything. And he has a certain time frame to provide me said gift. And that gift was a vehicle. and I had driven the vehicle to the new guy's house. So I had been going there for a while now, and this time I was spending the night. And now he done seen the video. He done found out. Now he's disgusted. Now he wants everything back, including the vehicle, which is that's haram within it. So you're not supposed to do that. This was my gift. It was mine. You're not supposed to take it back. So I'm paying. It was a car note. I was paying it. It's my gift, yet I'm paying the bill. But because it was in his name, he had all rights to take it back. And that's what he did. And y'all, this discard phase is so detrimental to the target that some become suicidal. They literally feel like they cannot live without this other human being in their life. This is how psychologically damaging and holding a hold that it has on your psyche, that these beings get you in such a chokehold that you feel like you can't breathe without their presence. And this is the message that I'm trying to get across. I'm going to keep bringing this cycle back up. I'm going to swing back around every few months. I'm going to jump right back into it and try to tackle it from a different angle, say it in some different pretty words so that y'all can hear me and understand that you are not to be mistreated in a manner that somebody showers you with love, make you feel so great, wonderful, excellent, and amazing, see a need of yours, take over that need and provide it for you so you can trust and depend on them. Then once they see that you are depending upon them and you're telling them, oh, I love you, baby, they start to devalue and degrade you, talk shit about you, talk shit to you in your face to other people. You're like, wait, what? Is he talking about, is she calling me a hoe? Like what? But you love this vagina. It ends up being um as a phase that you go through that is so toxic. With all that being said, this narcissist cycle is nothing to be played with. I am going to, scream into the rooftops, practice. I'm just going to preach it, to everybody that's with an open ear, that's willing to listen, because and most people that I know have been in some type of unhealthy and toxic relationship. It's not okay to be mistreated the way that these narcs mishandle and mistreat people. It's just not okay. And I'm going to keep talking about it until, most of the people that I know are no longer in unhealthy relationships, are in healthy relationships and are thriving because they're not allowing themselves to be disrespected and mistreated and discarded by another human being. It's not okay. We can't allow it to happen. Okay. It's not acceptable and we can't accept it. So like I've said in previous episodes, set your standards, make them high, set boundaries, stand 10 toes on them. Do not let people push past your boundaries. And I believe you will be okay. You just pour it into you, love up on you the way that you are supposed to. And when you love you that much, somebody who is going to come along who's going to love you as much as you love you as well. A lot of us don't really love ourselves. We don't even know how to. We weren't taught that. We don't understand really what that even entails. So we allow people to treat us however because we don't really know how to treat ourselves. So once you learn that, which is the purpose of taking that year to really dive into who am I? What do I want? How do I want to live my life? And once you know that and you start pouring into you, provide yourself with self-care, getting your hair done, going and get that mani petty, doing things to help your skin glow and, and help you. And you have to do it. You have to going to places, church, the masjid, wherever your place of worship is, so you can allow God to pour into your soul. I believe that right there is the strongest connection to us loving ourselves, because don't no other entity love us as much as the one who created us. And if you allow yourself to be loved by your God, then you will understand how and what it'll take to love you. And then when you come across somebody that you want to date, you know how you need to be loved. And if they not living up to that, you get them out of here because you don't qualify. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm going to end the episode here. I'd like to thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time, remember you are guided, you are protected, and you are safe.